everybody, welcome to Poorboys. I'm your host Derek. Today I'm going to be making some Huevos Rancheros. Now Huevos Rancheros, kind of Tex-Mexy meal. It's essentially beans, eggs, tortillas, and a kind of a red sauce that we're going to put on top. And it's super easy, very simple, and actually healthy and, of course, as always, cheap. So I'm going to just get started here, and first off we're going to make our sauce, or our red sauce, that we're going to put on top of the whole Huevos Rancheros. So I've got a jalapeno here. I'm going to just quick chop this up, real simple. Pop that in to my blender bowl here, my blender cup. I've got half of an onion. I'm just going to do another quick chop here. You know, it's just really simple. Really easy to do. Clove of garlic, very simple. Can of diced tomatoes. If you've seen some of my previous episodes, you'll notice that this is very similar to the salsa that I make. This just doesn't have any cilantro in it. You could add cilantro if you want, but obviously you don't have to. Alright, we're going to add a little cumin here. I've got a teaspoon. About a teaspoon of cumin, and then about a teaspoon of salt as well. And also, I won't do cayenne for this. And then a splash of vinegar. If you want to use lime juice, that works as well. About 2 tablespoons of vinegar there. Alright, so we're just going to blend this up. And this is going to be our sauce that's going to go on top, and actually we're going to do a reduction on this, and we'll put it on top. So I'm going to blend this up, and then we'll be right back to make our bean mixture. Alright, so I blended up our sauce, got it right here. We're going to use that in just a bit, but now we're going to make our bean mixture. So now I've got a can of black beans here, super cheap, it's about 60 cents. I got this at Target. You can get it, wherever you want. So I'm going to pour all the black beans in a bowl here, and then I'm going to add about a tablespoon, almost a tablespoon of cumin. I would say about half tablespoon. Half tablespoon of cumin, screw it, full tablespoon of cumin. I like cumin. And, pinch of salt in there as well. And you know what, I'm going to spice it up a little bit, so I'm going to put in a little bit of paprika. Sorry, not paprika, but cayenne. A little cayenne. You'll notice that this unlabeled, I actually buy my spices in bulk and then just repackage them in an old container. It's a lot cheaper, so I would highly recommend that. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of water to this as well. And essentially what this is going to be kind of a refried bean mixture, but it's not going to be like oily or greasy or anything like that. We've added no oil, just water and some spices. So I'm going to microwave this up, and then I'm going to microwave it for about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and we're going to get it warm, and then I'm going to mash it up with a fork. So I'll be right back after I microwave this. Alright, so we've got our beans here. It was about 2 minutes, and so I added a little bit of water, and I wanted to remind you that you have to drain and rinse your beans as well. That's important. You don't want that viscous bean liquid. Alright, so here I'm just trying to mash these up, and actually a spoon might actually even work better. So essentially we want to make like a bean paste here. So as you can see, just mashing these up. And I'm going to mash these up until they get a good consistency. If it gets too thick, all you have to do is add just a bit of water. Alright, so I'm still mashing up my beans here. As I said, you'll take a little while to mash these up, and you want to get a good consistency. This is going to be the base for our whole Huevos Rancheros. And as a reminder, beans are really healthy, really good for you. I don't know. I lost a bit of weight, and one of the things that I've really taken to eating a lot are beans, because they fill you up and they're they're very good for you and they're affordable. They got a lot of protein, a lot of fiber. It's just generally great stuff. So beans are great. Now we don't really, it doesn't have to be perfectly mixed up here. You just want, most of your beans broken up and basically make it look like refried beans. It's kind of going to look a little weird, kind of, I don't know, kind of gross, but once again, it's going to be very, very, very good. So I've got these nearly done. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start reducing our sauce. Now I'm not going to use this whole thing, but we're going to reduce the sauce, make our sauce, then we'll put the sauce aside, start cooking our eggs, and heat up our tortillas, and we're going to put it all together. So we'll be right back. Alright, so I got my beans mashed up. Now we're going to start on the sauce here. Just turn on your burner. Just doing this in a, I don't know what you call this, whatever pan you have, doesn't really matter. And I'm probably going to use just about, I don't know, think of how much sauce you want on top. I'll probably use about half of this. That's a good amount. So probably about a cup. About a cup of our sauce mix. And I'm going to start reducing it. So I've got this over high heat. Heat really doesn't really matter what you heat it on. We just want to reduce, get some of the water out, get some of the liquid out, and make it a thicker sauce. So I'm doing that, and then it's going to take probably about 3 to 4 minutes to get maybe 5 minutes to get your sauce down to where you want it. You want it thick, you want it nice. I'm going to bring it in close and show you guys the sauce reducing. So we're going to cut to that right now. Alright, so as you can see, my sauce is reducing here. Just trying to get all the liquid out of it, as I said earlier. Another thing I've got going on this burner here, I've got kind of a tortilla plate pan, I don't even know, griddle, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it's actually called. Some of the Mexican people can correct me and tell me I'm a gringo, whatever. So I've got my sauce reducing here. This is heating up. I'm going to get this heated up. I'm going to throw some tortillas on it. Also, tortillas super, super, super cheap. So I'm going to pan back out here, and then we're going to kind of wrap this whole thing up. I'm going to start cooking our eggs and put it all together. Alright, so my sauce reduction is almost where I want it. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to set it aside. I'll just reserve it. I've got a cup right here. I'm just going to reserve it in here, put it in there, and then I'm going to cook up my eggs in the same pan. I just don't want to wide wash another one if I don't have to. So this is just about where I want it. Get everything evaporated here. And we're just going to take it here and reserve it. And I'm just going to do a quick rinse on this before I put my egg in here. I'll make it a little easier. Alright, so I've got some eggs here. I'm going to actually use egg whites. So I'm going to separate these eggs out. Egg whites, obviously a little bit healthier. If you want, you can use the whole shebang, the whole egg white yolk, whatever you want. I'm just going to take a little healthier route and go egg whites. So 2 egg whites for me, 2 regular eggs for you if you want. Throw this away here. If you don't know how to separate an egg, all you do is, so you see I've got the yolk here. I just cracked the eggshell in half, and I transfer the yolk from one side to the other, and all the white comes out, and then you keep the yolk, and you discard the yolk. Alright, so I'm going to have this cook up here. It shouldn't take very long. It should take about 4 to 5 minutes, if that. Then I'm going to start throwing my tortillas on here, which is nice and warm now. And then we'll get this thing assembled. So, be right back. Alright, now that my egg's almost done, I'm going to start plating this up here. So I got my plate here. Just flipping the tortilla here. I'm going to throw another tortilla on. Now, if you don't have like a tortilla griddle thing, whatever, you can do it right over a gas grill. Obviously, be careful. Or else you can do it in a regular pan as well. So my egg is done here. I'm just going to put the egg on the plate for now and hold it there because it's done. Turn off my burner. Kind of going to move the egg to the side here. I'm going to bring it in close for the for this. So I've got my bean mixture here. I'm going to throw about half of my bean mixture right on the bottom here. Kind of spread it out nice and evenly. Very good. Alright, so bean mixture's down. Just got to put another second on this tortilla here. Alright, tortillas are good to go. Turn that off. 2 tortillas right on top of your bean mixture. Then I'm going to put the egg right on top of that. So bean, tortillas, egg. And now we've got our nice sauce here. So I'm just going to pour the sauce right all over this. I've got quite a bit of sauce. You could probably could have done a little bit less. So I've got my sauce on there. One more thing I'm going to do, just to top it off, we've got a little pepper jack cheese here. Obviously you could use any other, nicer Mexican, more authentic cheese if you want, but I'm a fan of the pepper jack. So I'm just going to grate a little bit of pepper jack on here. You don't need too much, or you can put as much as you want. Doesn't really matter. So pepper jack's down, eggs are down, and Huevos Rancheros, Poorboys style. So there you go. Bring it in nice and close for you. Delicious. So that's it for this episode of Poorboys. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you'll notice, widescreen, and I've updated the Poorboys website, so I converted the old Poorboys design to a WordPress theme. That should make it a lot easier for me to manage and make my life just, a little less headaches when I have to do updates on the site. So I'm going to do my best to maintain and keep up some content and make more content and hopefully please the viewers of Poorboys TV because, that's why I do it, is for people like you to help you out and, to kind of spread my philosophy of cooking cheaply. And actually, it's not about being cheap, it's more about being frugal. In these times, the economy is kind of going down the crapper and you have to figure out where you can cut costs, and food is definitely one of those places where you can cut costs, but obviously, don't cut costs by going out to McDonald's and having those chicken McNuggets. I mean, they're cheap, yeah, but they're just horrible for you. I mean, you can make home-cooked, good food at home from scratch, and it's good for you. One other thing I'd like to recommend is, I know I used a can of beans here. I would really strongly recommend making the beans from scratch. Making black beans from scratch is going to be a lot better. Just when you cook them, just use the cumin as you go through the cooking process, and you can cook it with even with some chicken broth, and that'll make it a little better. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of Poorboys. I will see you all later. Have a great day. Bye.